Hello. Welcome to class. It's week number 5, and we're going to spend a few minutes going over the assignments for this week. So, we're going to have a discussion post, as usual, and a 5 to 7 page paper. And the purpose of this video is to go into a little more detail about how to approach this and what I expect. So let's take a look at the discussion in more detail. It reads, you are now going to discuss how innovative leadership approaches can motivate some individuals and cause resistance to change in others, and then explain why it's important for leaders to understand generational differences. Now this should immediately spring to mind the week 4 discussion, which dealt with innovative approaches towards leadership. So, first of all, let's review last week's discussion and paper. So, you should have feedback on both of those right now. And as you're putting your paper together, should be able, well, won't have week 4 paper back, but you should have some information about the week 4 discussion. So you're going to take your best approaches and use those in the week 5 paper. Okay, this should not be totally new ideas. You've already done some thinking about what innovative leadership is. And then explain how and why change, what the leader is doing is they're causing change from their leadership approach, might result in different responses from different people. And as an example, we'll be looking at generational differences, the difference between the traditionalist generation and the baby boomers and the Gen Xers and the Gen Ys and the millennials, and how they perceive life differently in the different stages of life that they're in, and how this might predict how they're going to respond to a change in their workplace, and how you or someone as a leader has to predict how the perception of that change will be approached, whether it will be accepted and followed or whether it will be resisted. Okay, so that's our discussion topic. And we also have a 5 to 7 page paper. And this is going to be on a global business, an imaginary or real global business that you're familiar with. I would think it might be a little easier to create your own fictitious business on paper so that you can make it work the way you want it to. And so to create this business, you need to describe what your products and services are, who you're going to be selling these products and services to, and also, since we're talking about a global business, how you're going to deliver those products and services. It's not like you have a lemonade stand and people are going to be driving up to the window and buying lemonade. Or if you have lemonade stands, they're going to be scattered all over the world, and somehow you've got to get lemonade to all those people. So you have to kind of keep in mind that this is going to work into how are you going to actually manage this business that you're describing. And you'll also have to describe how your company will be structured, how it will be organized. How many employees are you going to have? Where are the employees going to be located? Are they going to be in a central facility and doing telemarketing around the world? Are they going to be a call center? Are they going to be running factories in different parts of the world? So you'll have to describe a little bit about how your employees are going to be distributed. And then also something about how decision-making regarding finances and strategy and how you're going to be able to control these operations. Are you going to centralize control? Are decisions going to be made at the top of the organization in one place? Or are you going to allow a decentralized control and decision-making structure so that employees, managers out at remote locations will be making their own decisions about how to spend your money, how to introduce new products, how to best serve their customers. Okay, so these will all have to be included because these will certainly affect what type of leadership approach you're going to be using in this company. And also remember, as you're coming up with your ideas, that 5 to 7 pages has to cover not only the description of your company, but it also has to describe your leadership style and approach that you're going to use in this business. And I'm looking for not just I'm going to be a transformational leader or I'm going to be a transactional leader. I'm looking for specific things that a transformational leader would do. How would they actually promote that style? And what sort of effects would they expect to have? So, to get drill down a little bit on this topic, how would your leadership approach that you choose, your innovative approach, how would it deal with such things as cultural and generational differences? And you can see how this ties into our discussion also. How will your leadership style deal with various perceptions and motivations among your workforce? How will your leadership style work with evaluating people's performance and rewarding good performance? And how will it affect organizational learning? Now, these are all important topics with regards to organizational behavior, and as a leader, you have to be concerned with how your style and how your approach is going to affect the behavior and the processes that occur within the organization. Okay? So the keys to success. I recommend that you go back and look at the ideas that we've been discussing over the past couple weeks in your papers, and as well as the discussion posts, and not just what you've said, but what other people have said about what you've said. And other people's posts also may have ideas that you can use. Since we're dealing with familiar topics, I would expect your ideas will be clearer and more precise as you begin to grasp in better detail exactly how you think about one of these subjects. You've already got a base of research, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of additional running back and forth to the library to look for more sources. You should have your database of research on these topics pretty much complete, and you'll just be dragging out additional information to answer the questions for this week's paper. Also, look at the feedback that you've gotten from your classmates and professors, ideas that you've presented that people have picked up on and talked about as being interesting are probably good things to include in your next round of writing exercises. Those are the things that people are saying now that this is a good idea and I think we should talk more about this. So choose the best. And finally, always look ahead. Now next week, there's no paper. Week 7 is another 5 to 7 page paper on global leadership and its impact on strategy. And I'll leave you with a sample of an innovative leadership approach.